truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's July 4th, 2016. The United States of America turns 240 years old today. The big news story this morning is NBA superstar Kevin Durant is changing teams. He's decided to go to the Golden State Warriors, leaving the Oklahoma City Thunder, who he spent his entire career with. What I want to show you is why this is the big news story the morning of the 4th of July. There's a reason it's Kevin Durant, and it has everything to do with his own birthday. Today's the United States of America's birthday. I'm going to show you what Kevin Durant's birthday has to do with today. Before we get to that, this is what you need to know first. The people who run the NBA, who control the world of professional sports, who control entertainment, who control TV, radio, newspapers, pretty much all of media, they are the Zionist Jews. And the Zionist Jews practice something called Gematria. Gematria is the practice of coding numbers into words. It ties into Kabbalah. Kabbalah, an esoteric branch of Judaism very much centered on numbers. These people make numbers their religion, and they do everything by the numbers. As I continue to expose, the world of professional sports is scripted, planned long in advance, and executed according to the numbers. That's how I've predicted so many sports championships correctly in a very short period of time. I would wager that in the last 3 years, I've predicted more sports championships correctly than anyone in the history of the world. And it's not because I'm Nostradamus, it's because I figured out what these Zionist Jews are doing at the top. So, Kevin Durant, the morning of July 4th, let's look at Kevin Durant's birthday. It's September 29th, 9/29, as we'd write in the United States. In Jewish Gematria, United States of America equals 929, a lot like his birthday. We're going to look at his birthday one more time. He was born September 29th, 1988. Steph Curry was born March 14th, 88. 88 is how many wins the Warriors finished with on the entire season this year, regular season and playoffs. They got their 88th win of the season exactly 88 days after Steph Curry's birthday. They didn't win again. Kevin Durant has now signed with the Warriors exactly 88 days before his birthday, September 29th. And when the Thunder and Golden State last played in Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals, the Thunder lost with 88 points. All part of the planned script. So, real quick, I want to talk about July 4th by the numbers as well, to give some more understanding. And I want to talk about this early picture that ESPN put out when it was breaking news that Durant signed with the Warriors. They showed him in his orange jersey, which is the rare jersey that the Oklahoma City Thunder don't win that often, but there's a reason ESPN showed him dressed in this. First, before we get to orange, let's talk about the significance of July 4th in Gematria. July 4th, let me zoom this in for you, sums to the number 156, and this is a very special number. 911 is the 156th prime number. This number also connects to 33, a very important number in the NBA. When you write out 33, it sums to 156, just like July 4th. When you write out 28, it sums to 156. 33 and 28 are the only numbers when written out that sum to 156. Kevin Durant will be turning 28 in a span of 88 days. The word man equals 28. With regards to 33 and 28, the only numbers summing to 156, at the beginning of the season, the Warriors were chasing the record 33-game win streak set by Jerry West and the Los Angeles Lakers 44 years earlier. The Warriors, their win streak ended up getting snapped at 28 games. And 44 years ago, it was the Milwaukee Bucks who snapped the Lakers win streak at 33. It was also the Milwaukee Bucks who snapped the Warriors streak this year. Look at what Milwaukee Bucks equals in Gematria, the exact same thing. And with regards to Jerry West, in Gematria, his name sums to 44. He wore the number 44. He's the logo of the NBA. This always proves to be a big number in sports. Again, 44. It was 44 years later this year where the Warriors were chasing Jerry West's record. You might remember that Steve Kerr returned this year on January 22nd for the Warriors' 44th game. That's the same day David Blatt was fired for the Cavs. They were the two rookie coaches a year earlier that met in the NBA Finals. First time that ever happened. I just want to point out that the word second sums to 24 because there's a 24-second shot clock in the NBA. The nation turned 240 years old, 240. Look how they got the 24 in the back of this shot as well. 240 years old. The big news, Kevin Durant. With regards to his orange jersey, it comes back to 33. Orange equals 33. Stephen, or Steven as it's spelled, equals 33. Golden State abbreviated equals 33. Cleveland is the only city in the NBA that sums to 33. This year they were the 33rd team to ever be down 3-1, the first to come back. Quite fitting for being the only city with 33 Gematria. Again, something I predicted at the beginning of the season. NBA Finals also has Gematria of 33. We'll likely see the Warriors there for the third time in a row next year. With regards to today, July 4th, known as Independence Day equals 74. Holiday equals 74. Masonic equals 74. Jewish equals 74. If you read about the history of this nation, it was began by Freemasons, Masonic, and Zionist Jews. Back then they weren't called Zionists, but that's what branch of Judaism they were. They were the banker Jews, the same ones who rule over us, who control the media, who do all of this by the numbers. Warriors and Kevin Durant, a match in Gematria, special numbers. I'm going to link this video in the description. I put this video out earlier this morning. It's 27 minutes long. It talks about a lot more than what I discussed in this video. This video is just additional information and a preview for those who don't have 27 minutes to watch. Also in the description, I'm going to link this playlist of the NBA Finals, playoffs, and the celebrity sacrifices during that time that corresponded with the games, from Muhammad Ali to Anton Yelchin. Also Prince. This is how the world is being operated. It needs to be stopped. It's disgusting. One more point I should make before we sign off is that him signing with Golden State, they're just outside of San Francisco, the Golden Gate Bridge. Show you something about Golden Gate real quick. Golden Gate in Gematria sums to 239. The nation was just 239 years old. It just turned 240. The Jewish holy book is the Torah, also having this Gematria of 239. The flag for this nation was sewn at 239 Arch Street, the original capital, Philadelphia, where the Warriors are originally from. I think there's something here symbolic, too, with the news being in the direction of Oakland near the Golden Gate Bridge in light of this coding. The Jewish people, the age of the nation, the transition from 239 to 240. Just recognize who's running this and who's scripting it and who needs to be taken out of power. You know, for all the young men, all the young women that aspire to be professional athletes who don't know the truth of these leagues, they don't realize that they have to be born into it, and they have no chance of making it no matter how good they are, because this league is only for those born into it, chosen, like how LeBron James wears chosen one. If we can remove these Zionist Jews from power, which we need to do as a people, we can reinstate, proper news, not fear-mongering news, news that's beneficial to our lives. We can reinstate non-rigged sports leagues. We can make it so that there's legitimate sports leagues. Athletes don't have to be paid a fortune. People can afford to go and watch the games. There can be honor. There can be dignity. It can be a real event, as people currently think it is, but it is not. It's a league paid for or played by athletic actors, people who sell out their fans for the big bucks, for the fame, for the lifestyle. All right, Truth Seeker, until next time.